Local restaurants are expecting a busy weekend as indoor dining takes place for the first weekend in 2 months. Many local restaurants reopened this week for in-person dining, albeit at 50% capacity under the governor's executive order. Reporter Pafua Yang spoke to employees on how they are adjusting.
Sarah Yerk hasn't eaten inside a restaurant in nearly 2 months. But today, the Burnsville resident made the drive to Maple Grove to get a bite.
Granite City was one of our hangouts when we were in college. We thought that she lives in St. Cloud and it's halfway in between us, and we thought, let's go old school.
We're happy to be open again.
Peter Von Bank, general manager of Granite City Food and Brewery, has been looking forward to reopening.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. It's like the most exciting part of it is getting A, to see my staff again, and B, to have guests come in through the building that we can provide an exceptional experience for.
The restaurant was able to bring back furloughed staff, especially for the busy weekend ahead.
We're bringing in the vast majority of our staff tonight, Saturday, and Sunday.
Across from Granite City, Redstone American Grill is also prepping for a busy weekend. Staff members here are encouraging people to call in for reservations.
The phone has been ringing off the hook, so it's going to be a very busy weekend.
Carl Bodine, manager of Redstone, expects close to a 50% capacity at the business this weekend.
A lot of prep back at house, bringing all of our staff back in, getting them reacclimated to the job and things like that, and making sure we're keeping up with the safety standards and things like that.
As for customers, they're eager for fresh food, but most of all, the company.
It's really nice that you get to be with people and you just miss it.
In Maple Grove, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
It was a scary situation Thursday that involved a man breaking into homes who police say was armed with several guns. The crime involved the suspect taking a 7-year-old boy hostage. And what made the crime all the more unusual, police say it appears to be completely random.
It's an absolute home invasion. There's no relationship between the suspect and the family. There was numerous children in the house ranging from 7 to 14 years old, and the suspect had just broke into their door and they fled the home, and unfortunately that 7-year-old was unable to flee.
The incident began around 3 p.m. Thursday when Brooklyn Park Police received a call of a suspicious man walking through yards in the 7500 block of 83rd Avenue North. Police say the suspect broke into one home that was occupied but then ran from the scene. When officers arrived, they were flagged down by another family, saying that the same man had broken into their home. Several children inside escaped, except for a 7-year-old boy. A SWAT and crisis negotiator team came in and eventually talked the suspect into releasing the child back to his family unharmed. The standoff ended at around 10:30 p.m. when the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
In this case, he made it very clear from early on in the investigation that he was not going to go back to jail. He does have a history of being in prison, and at the end of the day, he had just elected to take his own life.
Police say the suspect came from Missouri in a stolen vehicle and had no ties to Minnesota. As of now, they don't have any indication of what he was doing in Brooklyn Park. Investigators also believe he had an accomplice, and they continue to look for that person. In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday, hundreds will join in a virtual celebration, and they'll do it while eating pie. Rose McGee began making sweet potato comfort pies 7 years ago. This year, Breck School in Golden Valley partnered with McGee to help bake those pies. School staff say it's important to remember Dr. King's legacy, especially following a difficult year in 2020. Either you love them or you hate them. In today's Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley has a story dedicated to squirrels.
In today's Weekend Showcase, I want to take a moment to talk about the most significant holiday yet of this new year. Nothing less than Squirrel Appreciation Day.
I didn't know the squirrels actually had their own day.
I'm more ambivalent toward them.
I think they're cute.
They've gotten in our house before.
Everybody calls them a yard rat.
Our whole family is squirrels.
Yes, those little denizens of yard and forest have their own special day.
I had never heard of that before.
January 21st has been set aside as National Squirrel Appreciation Day.
Oh, cute.
The first Squirrel Appreciation Day was in 2001. A wildlife rehabilitation specialist in Asheville, North Carolina, was credited with creating it and encouraging folks to set out food and water for squirrels.
We moved in about 7 months ago, and this is the first time that I've had a fence and a place to put a squirrel feeding station. So the squirrel picnic table was one of the first things to go up.
A squirrel's nest is called a dray, and if you see a black or white squirrel, they're typically gray squirrels with recessive color genes.
I think some of the more common ones that people know about are gray squirrels and red squirrels. And then flying squirrels are also really intriguing too, and there's two different kinds of flying squirrels in Minnesota. Northern flying squirrels and southern flying squirrels.
I found no shortage of squirrel lovers entertained by the little critter's antics.
Over there, he just jumps from tree to tree, and then over here, this person's house, he has a little hole in there that I can see him. I actually have my little binoculars that I kind of look, and he kind of goes into a little hole there.
Well, I think the people that love them love watching their behavior. They have so many funny little mannerisms.
They're cute, they're adorable.
But then the people that hate them, I think, see them more as the pests.
I thought I had them out of the attic, and no.
So love them or hate them, Thursday, January 21st is their special day.
Have a little squirrel party, I guess.
So we're going to celebrate that there, and we'll hang our little Squirrel Day stockings by the fireplace and things like that, and have a squirrel cake. And
For a weekend showcase, go watch some squirrels. Neil Persley, CCX News. Hey, take it easy.
The winter sports season is finally underway. One of the state's best boys hockey teams started their season in style on opening night. The second-ranked Maple Grove boys hockey team was at home Thursday night in their season opener against Elk River Zimmerman. First period, and Kyle Kukkonen skates into the Elk zone and fires a shot home from the slot. Maple Grove ties the score at 1. It's 2-1 Grove after 1 period. Opening seconds of the second period, and Kukkonen is awarded a penalty shot. He delivers 2 with a nice move and shot to score. Maple Grove is up 3-1 on the 20th ranked Elks. Just over a minute later, Maple Grove strikes again. Josh Giuliani sets up Cal Thomas in the circle. He shoots and scores, and it's 4-1. Still in the second, Kukkonen picks up an assist. This time it's Parker Wente snapping home a shot from the circle, and the Crimson are up 5-2. The Elks answer before the end of the period. Joe Grenick on a 2-on-1 passes to Caden Casey, who scores on a backhand. ERZ pulls within 5-3 after 2. But Maple Grove pulls away in the third. Nice takeaway along the boards by Giuliani. He passes to Sawyer Skansen, back to Giuliani, who finds Landon Gunderson open in front. Maple Grove adds 2 more goals in the third, and they go on to win 8-3. The Crimson have 2 more home games in the coming week. They host Armstrong Cooper on Thursday, and then are home to play Totino Grace at 3 o'clock on Saturday the 23rd, in a game you can watch live here on CCX. The Osseo boys basketball team opened the season Thursday night with a win over Elk River. Jay Wilcox has a look at the Orioles.
As the high school basketball season starts in mid-January after a pause due to COVID-19, the Osseo boys admit it is a little different than a normal year at the start of practice.
Very hard. It's hard running with this mask on. You don't get a lot of air, but you get used to it after a while, though.
So we might look out of shape, out of sorts to start off with. We might see a lot of turnovers. We're going to be competing, we're going to be playing, but there just might be a little bit more mental mistakes in this beginning phase. So we got to take the wins and losses out and just kind of look at improvement.
For a program that has a strong history, Osseo had an off year in the 2019-2020 season, winning 10 games. The good news, they have 8 letter winners back and a far more experienced group.
Yeah, the goals are definitely high over here. We got high expectations. I think we could definitely improve. I think we maybe have one new guy and they've all had varsity experience.
We're a year older. We're excited about that. It's early in the process. We feel we have a lot of talent. We just got to mesh them together. A lot of individual pieces. If we can gel this team together, we feel we have the athletes, we have the skill, we have the size and quickness to be a really successful team in this conference.
Bernardo Moria returns as an all-conference player and is a very capable scorer. It's on the defensive end that Osseo should shine.
I feel like our defense is really good, our full court defense. I feel like we're gonna run teams out of the gym a lot.
I'd say definitely watch out for our athleticism, especially with our defense, because hopefully that should lead to a lot of transition buckets and a lot of dunks for some of our explosive players.
While nothing is certain during the pandemic, the State High School League is hoping to have state tournaments in some form this winter. With a lot of seniors having graduated last year from the top teams in their section, Osseo could be in the mix.
For sure, I definitely think we could compete for a spot to get there. I know with it being my last year, I would love for us to end out that way.
The Orioles are looking to blend their talents to become a strong team. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jay. For more local sports stories, please visit our website at ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.